Just like the Baltimore Ravens, the Los Angeles Chargers were close to making the playoffs this season, but unfortunately, the Chargers lost a couple of close games too many. The first 4 weeks of the season, they went 0-4 to start the season, but in the first two games of the year, they could have won those games. But special teams issues in the first 2 weeks is what cost the Chargers. Because if you just look back at how the Chargers ended the season right after the 0-4 start, the Chargers missed out on the playoffs on tiebreaker. If they could have, in particular, made a field goal at the end of the game in week 2 against Miami, the Chargers would have been in the playoffs. So the Chargers, I think, are one of those teams that are a force to be reckoned with in the league in the next couple of years. Kind of like the 49ers, kind of like the Raiders. I think the Chargers are a team that's a force to be reckoned with, especially since they only have about maybe 3 more years to try to get Phillip Rivers a shot at a Super Bowl. Maybe Rivers has about maybe 3 or 4 more years. That's what I'm kind of predicting, but I'm probably wrong on that. But either way, they got to get Phillip Rivers a shot at a Super Bowl before he retires. And with the 17th pick in the draft, the Chargers, they have an opportunity to redeem themselves from last year. Because I thought that last year's pick of Mike Williams, pick number 7, was kind of a botched pick, especially with a wide receiver, considering they have a plethora of wide receivers right now in Keenan Allen, Terrell Williams, Travis Benjamin, and plus Mike Williams didn't play all season long. But we're gonna see what they do with pick number 17. But as you can see on the draft board behind me, I have it coming down to about 3 things that they might want to look out for. Now, I know you can see safety on there, and safety is that second priority for them. That's only if Derwin James is still there. Because if Derwin James happens to fall to pick number 17, that's a steal for the Chargers. Considering the Chargers have a pretty underrated defense led by Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram, I think their defense can be a force to reckon with. And I know they also have linebacker. Could the Chargers trade up and get Roquan Smith? That'd be interesting. I think at the end of this, I might do a thing on teams to look for to make some trades in this first round. And if I do that, the Chargers might be a candidate that trades up and gets Roquan Smith. But their top priority for me is offensive line. And I feel like they should have gone offensive line in the first round last year. In fact, I feel like there was so many different teams that should have gone offensive line. Now, you can understand that the offensive line class wasn't really, there wasn't like a plethora of offensive linemen to choose from, but the first offensive lineman didn't go till, I believe an offensive lineman didn't go till maybe, I can't remember. If somebody knows, comment down below, because I'll look it up eventually. But I think of offensive lineman the first offensive lineman went pretty late in the first round. Because I remember it came down to, I know Ryan Ramczyk went number 32 to the Saints, and then Cam Robinson, who was the top offensive lineman, fell in the second round. But yes, offensive lineman is the top priority for the Chargers right now, because I feel like that's what they should have gone with last year. Just like a bunch of other different teams that we've talked about previously in this draft board series. And this year there is a plethora of offensive linemen to choose from, especially once you get to pick number 17, because there's going to be quite a bit of offensive linemen that go in this first round. We're going to see what happens with these Chargers here. But if the Chargers can draft smart with this pick and picks after that, I think the Chargers will be in the playoffs next year. So the pick right here should be offensive lineman if Derwin James isn't still there and if Roquan Smith isn't still there. Or they might trade up. I think they might trade up to get Roquan Smith. Probably trade up to try to trade up into that top 10. Maybe if Maybe about pick 12 if Roquan Smith is still on the board at pick 10 or pick 12, excuse me. Then I think the Chargers go with Roquan Smith, trade up to pick number 12 if he's still there. Or they might reach on Derwin James pick number 17 if he's still there. But the pick should be offensive lineman, because that's what they need. They got to set up protection for Phillip Rivers if they're going to make a playoff run, let alone a run to the Super Bowl before he retires.